Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Amy Hayek, President and co-founder of Animal Chiropractic Education Source. I am joined today by my good friend and obviously website guru, Tony Seymour. We're going to talk a little bit today about what Tony does and how that has helped us in our animal chiropractic adventure. Before we talk about that, I want to mention here a little bit about Basecamp Pro. So Basecamp Pro is the newest adventure for animal chiropractic continuing education. We've launched it in place of, or in that same weekend of, the American Veterinary Chiropractic Association meeting. And we did it because we know that animal chiropractors need community, they need connection, and they also need that commitment to animal chiropractic. And this is our way to open up so still hundreds of animal chiropractors can get together on that same weekend that they usually do and make those connections. And we've asked Tony to come in because he is an expert in website marketing and design. We've been working with him for a couple of years now, and he's done some really great stuff with what we do here at Animal Chiropractic Education Source. And so, Tony, could you please explain a little bit about who you are and where you come from?
Well, thanks so much, Dr. Amy. I appreciate that. And yeah, I've been seeing some really good things about the Basecamp Pro coming up this fall. So we're super excited about that. Yeah, just a little bit about myself. Obviously, my name's Tony Seymour, and I've been around chiropractic since I was about the age of 4 years old. My dad was an avid fan of chiropractic. He was adjusted, and I'm right there from Bettendorf/Davenport, Iowa. So I grew up, right there in the heart of where chiropractic was discovered. And like I said, I've been adjusted since I was about 4 years old. So we get what they refer to as the big idea. We get it. So anyhow, even my lovely wife is a chiropractor. And so anyhow, with all that said, with chiropractic, I was actually a chiropractic, coach, a marketing coach and a business coach for about 16 years. And throughout this, also build out websites and saw the need for doing specific chiropractic websites. And so that's what I've been doing for many, many years, Dr. Amy, between building out websites and teaching marketing classes to chiropractors. That's what we're here for.
Awesome. Well, we're really glad that you're here and that you've joined us with Basecamp, because I think that it's time for animal chiropractors to be able to reach out and spread out. Animal chiropractic has been kind of the low level. It's made up of people who want to see animals and not people necessarily sometimes, and those tend to be kind of quiet. And I think we're definitely hitting that season where it's time for animal chiropractic to become more mainstream. And I think that that's going to be definitely where your expertise is going to come in to play. So tell me a little bit about your business, and how is it that a great website is going to make that big difference for an animal chiropractor? How's it going to help them to get out of I'm going to call it the dark ages, because just like chiropractic, animal chiropractic has been in that little bit of a dark ages, and we're busting out of that slowly, where it was illegal, people were getting in trouble, people didn't want to say that they did it because it was scary. We're way beyond the part where they had to have secret signs and words to get their animals adjusted. But we're still in a phase where it's not completely understood or accepted by mainstream society. So tell me about, website marketing and how that's going to help these animal chiropractors make that big leap.
Yeah, I appreciate the way you frame that up as well. As far as the question goes, how can we help our local communities get the message of, not only chiropractic, but specifically animal chiropractic? How does that happen? And that's actually the biggest reason I do what I do with websites and chiropractic marketing. But let's just stick with websites for right now. Let's use the chiropractic model, for example. Okay, above, down, inside out, correct? A taking it, above, down, inside out. The mistake that, with that in mind, it's very specific. It's a very specific model: above, down, inside out for chiropractic, right?
Mhm.
Yet when you see marketing for chiropractors, or in this case, animal chiropractors, what happens is they're so general. Okay. In other words, they go a mile wide with their marketing, but it's only going an inch deep. And you have, what, roughly 60, 70,000 chiropractors. And how many animal chiropractors are out there?
Oh, there's probably, between those who are certified and those who were certified and are no longer, there's probably about 3,000.
Okay, so 3,000 animal chiropractors out there. And after, you and I and Dr. Bill started working together, I started looking at all the other, the animal chiropractic side of things with all the animal chiropractic websites, and I saw the same thing. We're going a mile wide, but only an inch deep, and everybody's doing that. Well, the key to effective marketing is you want to go a mile deep and only an inch wide. And that's why I use the chiropractic model. Until we correct that subluxation, then we're going to continue to have the headaches that the profession is consistently seeing. In other words, the local community just doesn't get it. Or, and that's on the community's end of things, but on the chiropractor or animal chiropractors end of things, they become frustrated for not having additional new clients, correct?
Yeah. Well,
They-
and
yeah.
the phrase we, are kind of working against is animal chiropractic. I've never heard of that.
Well, that's it.
And
That's it. And just to throw it out there, a large reason why they haven't heard of that, because remember, we can't go blaming the other, the community, okay, because they don't know because we haven't told them. How are we going to tell them? How are we going to reach them? And in marketing, again, I'm going to go back to it. That's because chiropractic and animal chiropractic has gone a mile wide and only an inch deep.
tell
And
me a little bit, about what you found, because when we started working together, you were only doing chiropractic. Why is it that animal chiropractic is a little bit different
yep.
and still the same?
A little bit different because you all have the opportunity, and I think it's a fantastic opportunity to go what I referred to as that mile deep. You have a very specific niche. Okay, chiropractic is specific as, in the healthcare community, chiropractic is specific. Okay, but with animal chiropractic, you can be even more specific. So that's what I see is the opportunity to make your message super clear. You've heard the phrase, and I've heard the phrase, and I think people watching this video have heard the phrase before: content is king. Have you ever heard that?
Uh-huh.
Content's not king. Okay, this is the reality is, if content was king, then more marketing would be successful. Content is not king. Clarity is king. The more clear that we can be with our message, the more impact we're going to have. In other words, and that'd probably be the way I would put it, is that, what I see is watered down marketing producing watered down results versus being very specific in drawing out the best of the doctor that you're working with and then marketing that. I think, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Versus that's what I think is massively important. I don't believe it's a minor issue, but the days of being the cookie cutter websites or cookie cutter marketing is pretty much out the door. And now, if we're in the age of, you've got to be super specific. There's a reason why. What an example can I give? Okay, let's just take celebrities for example. Okay, I'm going to use Will Smith as an example because, I think Will Smith's he's pretty awesome. Okay, it's pretty tough to with when he does his, and is Will Smith marketing himself?
Yeah, sure, he has to be.
Yeah, he's marketing himself. But when he does that, he's being himself. He's got his DNA in his Will Smith marketing brand. He's not just an actor or a singer or a songwriter or whatever. No, when you think about Will Smith, is very specific, and he's done that on purpose. That's not by accident. And so it's the same thing versus how we market, animal chiropractic in general, or you can be the Will Smith. Which one's going to gather a bigger audience, and which one's going to have a bigger impact?
Obviously being yourself and being the person who attracts people who you like.
And that's what I try to do when working with somebody, is draw that out, draw that out of them and bring out the Will Smith in them, if I can say that appropriately.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
it makes a difference. So anyhow.
So do you feel like that there might be a tendency or a potential that they lose some clients by doing that as well?
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. Which most people listen to. Well, I don't want to lose clients. Yeah, let's just be clear about it. We want clients, the ones that are going to stay, pay, and refer. Okay. If you're trying to hold on to every single client that you've got, that becomes very burdensome. It's a long time, but yes, I would agree with you 100%.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely want clients that we like. So that sounds like what animal chiropractic doctors will be able to get from better marketing.
Yep.
How the website's going to help them to do better. Then what can they get what are they going to get different or more than that by attending Basecamp Pro? I mean,
Yep.
They certainly can call you at any time and say, hey, help me with my marketing, which
Yep.
is more specific than what they're getting from other website marketers.
Yep.
I know we've been to, when we go to conferences, there's always somebody there who does websites. And I was just not too long ago at a veterinary conference. And of course, the guys were like, we can build your website for you. And I said, I don't think so, because I don't do veterinary medicine. I do animal chiropractic, and the content and even the images have to be different. So tell us what else some of these animal chiropractors are going to learn when they come to Basecamp that's going to help them, have a better piece of the pie.
Sure. Well, Basecamp, when you and Dr. Bill had originally brought up the idea of Basecamp and hosting it and doing everything, I think it's absolutely genius, for sure. And the reason why is the immersion. Having an immersion weekend when you can be around the best of the best of the best in your profession, which you and Dr. Bill 100% are. I mean, Dr. Bill's been practicing since a little over 20 years, and in the experience that he brings to the table. And then, obviously the experience and the communication tools that you bring to the table, immersion of that's key. You being around those kind of people like yourself and Dr. Bill is going to, like I kind of hinted to before, is going to bring out the best in the people who attend Basecamp Pro. Like 100% for sure. So number one, I would say, is being around successful people like yourself, Dr. Bill, Roberto Monaco. Are you kidding me? Roberto's going to be hosting it as well. Those are people you want to associate with, and you're going to pick up golden nuggets from each and every one of the presenters there, 100% for sure. But specifically, what am I going to be teaching on? Is that
Yeah, you're going to be there. So give them a little, primer. What are they going to find out?
Well, the biggest thing that I'm going to be teaching on is a chiropractic or an animal chiropractic marketing calendar. There's going to be a lot of great doctors at the Basecamp Pro weekend that know a heck of a lot more. Even though I've grown up with chiropractic, they know infinitely more about chiropractic than I do, and which is awesome. That's what fuels the passion, the motivation, and the heart behind what we're doing, for sure. Well, I'm going to come behind that and structure up a 12-month marketing plan for everybody in attendance at Basecamp Pro. So to remove the question, how am I going to get new clients to bring my clinic to the next level? I'm going to provide a structure, a 12-month marketing plan structure that I've been teaching for, again, over 16 years to probably maybe 3,000 chiropractic clinics. So we're going to provide a structure of marketing, a 12-month marketing plan for everybody in attendance.
Awesome. That's
Yep.
that's huge for those animal chiropractors, because once that's done,
Yeah.
I mean, we've been working together for a couple of years, and we're finally, seeing that once that structure's in place in our practice, you just let it go and it does its own thing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it's going to be tailored to individual doctors, especially in attendance. It's going to be tailored to that because your structure, because you guys have a clinic as well, that's going to be different than somebody else's. And so to have access, we're going to be there to feed into and help everybody structure up a marketing plan because um, yeah, you've got to have some structure to your marketing plan. If you ask most chiropractors, well, hey, what's your fall marketing calendar look like? They don't know. And I would say if you don't know, if we don't know a fall marketing plan going forward, are we shooting from the hip? Has that been a successful recipe for marketing? Is that normally how we do things? Do we do the same things with our finances and expect that to work? Do we do the same thing with what we eat and expect to be healthy? Do we do the same thing with just our relationships and expect that to work? No. Structure provides freedom, and without structure, we become a slave. Structure provides freedom, and without structure, we become a slave. Same thing's true in marketing. If our new patient numbers or new client numbers in this case are low, my go-to is where's the structure? What was the plan? I mean, plans can do and fail. Marketing pieces, I mean, I'm a marketing professional. I've been doing it for 20 years. Marketing pieces can and they do fail. But if you don't have a plan, it's gonna fail. Is that
Awesome.
helpful?
I think you touched on a few key points for a lot of animal chiropractors, especially when you make that relationship to even the relationship to other things that they do, like eating or, those kinds of things. Financial, that definitely hits home with a few people. So awesome. So where can people find more about what you do between now and then? And we know that we've got a whole bunch of other things coming up between now and base camp to let people know where to find stuff. But where can they find you right now?
The best way to reach out to me would be chirowebsitepro.com. That's my website, which is chirowebsitepro.com. And on there, just look for the green button that says get scheduled and then schedule a call. Schedule a call. And I'll listen to you and find out what your biggest needs are. And if I can help, I'll be happy to help for sure. What it won't be is a hard pressure sales call. I don't do that. Dr. Amy, you've known me and seen me interact with multiple chiropractors. Is that my thing? Hard pressure sales?
You have the least pressure of anybody I've ever met.
There is nothing more frustrating in life than to try to convince somebody to do that which they do not want to do.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So I don't go there. I'm there, just to help and to provide feedback where you've asked me to. So.
Awesome. Well, this has been great, Tony. I'm really glad you shared all these things with us. I hope that these animal chiropractors who are hearing this message can begin to see how it works in their lives. I mean, especially, with the fact that animal chiropractic is getting ready to really take off here as we're starting to see changes in farming, we're starting to see changes in production. Everybody is driving to their local farm to get their own milk and their own meat, and those producers are going to be faced with those people who want better food. And how are they going to find it if animal chiropractors aren't out there to put the message out?
Well, and I think that's a great question. It just, we're wrapping it up, but how are they going to find it if we're not putting the message out there? And again, this is, you and I doing this podcast right now as part of the message. I just can't encourage people enough to plug in to A.C.E.S. I grew up, in addition, there was a reason why I grew up with chiropractic. My dad wanted to make sure that I was underneath chiropractic. And that's because I wrestled for a very long period of time. Okay. And back in the day, I think I was pretty good. I used to wrestle for the Air Force and these sort of things, and grew up in Iowa. But the key to being a really good wrestler is you had to be in the right room. You're not going to be any much better of a wrestler than your opponents. The people you're practicing with, the people you hang out with, and that's just again a plug for going to Base Camp Pro. Is you want to put yourself around strategically, put yourself around people like yourself, Dr. Bill, again, Roberto Monaco, and that's going to make you better and help you become better, I should say, to take your practice to the next level. I've never seen anything quite like it with the Base Camp Pro. I just can't encourage people if they're serious and really want and ready to make the change. It would be something that I would encourage every animal chiropractor to go to, like 100% for sure.
Well, thank you, Tony. That was very generous and nice of you to put all that up. And I want to put this out there for everybody as we wrap this up, that honestly, we have been to different marketers, we've been to different website gurus, we've talked to all kinds of different people across the spectrum. And while every business is still a business, animal chiropractic has that special niche. And if you can't find someone like Tony Seymour who can dive into your business and understand the depth of it, not just the top of it, everybody doesn't get the same website skim. Every website definitely has that underlying information that you need. And that's one of the things that we found with Tony, was that he could definitely take our information, take the meat of our business and put it in that website to make it, to help that get the message out there to our clients, to our students, everybody, so that they would know where animal chiropractic really is. Thanks so much for joining me, Tony, and we will see you again at Base Camp Pro, where you're going to speak to us about that marketing schedule. I hope for those of you who are listening to this, you can't wait to get your hands on that, because it honestly is a game changer. It frees up your time, all kinds of things, and we're really looking forward to it. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Have a blessed one, Dr. Amy. We'll catch up shortly.
Take care.
You bet.